Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you're living in or around Hastings, you already know the July 4th holiday weekend is coming up fast. And, with the busy holiday comes a whole lot of moving parts. We're talking changing store hours, road construction, plus some really fantastic local events and community initiatives. So, I've got ahead and distilled all the latest local updates into this quick visual explainer for you. And we're going to walk through the absolute essentials you need to navigate this weekend with total ease. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First up, we'll cover the essential click regarding the Highway 61 reconstruction. Then, it's neighbor helping neighbor. And finally, we'll wrap up with weekend logistics and fun.
But right before we get into the logistics, I want you to consider this number, 89. That is our forecasted high temperature in degrees Fahrenheit for Thursday, July 2nd, here in Hastings. We are heading into a seriously warm, sticky, and humid stretch, with storm chances creeping back in overnight. So what does this actually tell us? Well, it means today is literally the perfect day to knock out those errands early, figure out your indoor versus outdoor plans, and just kind of map out the whole weekend before the holiday fully kicks into gear. Because let's face it, when the weather gets unpredictable, having a solid plan is absolutely crucial.
All right, Section 1, the essential click. Navigating the Highway 61 reconstruction.
Now, this is arguably the most critical civic update for local travel in Hastings right now. So I've got to ask you directly, how is this massive corridor project going to impact your daily route? I mean, think about your morning commute, your evening walks, or even just how you access your favorite downtown businesses. Highway 61 touches almost every single aspect of daily life in Hastings, right? So knowing exactly how it affects you is essential to preventing some massive headaches over the coming weeks and months.
Look, if you only click on one single link today, it absolutely needs to be this one, the official Highway 61 project page. While our local news summaries are fantastic for a quick glance, they're really just a starting point. For a project of this massive magnitude, one that actually dictates your daily routes and local travel, you absolutely need the primary source. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why. Saving that official page is incredibly important because it's where you're going to find the absolute most accurate, up-to-date maps. It's also your hub for the full details on the highly anticipated public meeting, which is scheduled for Tuesday, July 14th. If you live, work, walk, or own a business anywhere near the corridor, keeping an eye on these road updates straight from the source is going to save you so much time and frustration. Seriously, bookmark it, read it over carefully, and maybe even share it with your neighbors. Moving right along to Section 2, Neighbor Helping Neighbor. Supporting our Hastings community. Hastings has always been all about supporting our own. And as the saying goes, this is a practical way for neighbors to help neighbors during a month when food support remains super important. Summer can actually be a really tough stretch for food shelves and family support organizations. But here is the great news. Throughout July, donations made to Hastings Family Service can actually be matched through the Open Your Heart Summer Challenge. This means your local gifts are going to go much, much further right now. So if you're looking to make a donation, head directly to Hastings Family Services official channels to find the safest, most direct link.
Also, if you're just out doing your everyday grocery shopping, Spiral Flu Co-op is running their July Roundup program, and this month it supports Ability to Believe, which is a really fantastic local nonprofit. All you got to do is literally just say yes to rounding up your total at the checkout. It takes zero extra planning on your part, but let me tell you, those pennies and dollars really pull together to make a massive difference right here in town.
And hey, if you belong to the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic Parish, or honestly, if you're just looking for a super small, tangible way to help out, SEAS is currently seeking snack donations for their Totus Tuus Week. That runs from July 5th through the 10th. A quick heads up though, before you go out and buy anything, just be sure to check their official post to see exactly what specific snack items they actually need and the proper way to drop them off. It's just a wonderful little way to support the youth community. Okay, let's move to and see how this builds into Section 3, Weekend Logistics and Fun, Navigating Closures and Activities. So, when you're building out your holiday weekend plans, definitely note that 328 Grill is officially closed on July 4th and 5th. We all want to avoid that classic, wait, no way, they're closed moment when you pull into the parking lot, right? But on the open side of things, remember that 89-degree heat and humidity we talked about earlier? Well, Boatie's Pub and Golf Simulators is offering a climate-controlled $25 simulator special for the weekend. It is the perfect indoor escape. Just check their availability before you go. Or, if you do want to brave the outdoors, Carpenter Nature Center has launched their family backpack adventures over at the Wisconsin campus. It gives you this great guided feeling outdoor activity without overcomplicating your whole day. Now, what's really interesting about this next closure is how it's actually a massive point of pride for the town.
The Losh Museum will be closed from July 2nd through the 5th. But they aren't just taking a long weekend to relax. The Hastings Area Historical Society is actually taking part in a special history pop-up connected to the America 250 and MN 250 celebrations, all the way over at the Mall of America. So yeah, while you can't visit them locally this weekend, it's an amazing community win for our local history to be showcased on such a giant stage.
All right, let's pull all of these dates together into a clear timeline of action cues. Right now, on July 2nd, starting at 8 a.m., Afton Apple Orchard opens for Pick Your Own Raspberries. But remember, this is totally a catch-it-while-you-can situation, dictated by the weather and the crowd, so always check their voicemail before you drive out. Then, looking ahead to next week, Friday, July 10th at noon is the absolute strict deadline for Hastings Community Education Youth Flag Football. If you want that awesome NFL jersey, you literally must register by noon. And of course, go ahead and circle Tuesday, July 14th for that incredibly important Highway 61 public meeting.
So, looking at everything we've mapped out today, I want to leave you with this final thought. How will you support the Hastings community and navigate your long weekend? Will you round up at the co-op? Are you going to brave the heat for some fresh raspberries? Or maybe seek out the AC over at Bogey's? Whatever you decide to do, make sure to bookmark that Highway 61 project page, stay engaged, and have a safe, wonderfully connected July 4th holiday. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.